Okay, Aries. So this reading, it's it's a guilty reason for me to come and make an announcement to you that this morning my Rams vibes morning reading and prayer did not go as planned. But I have figured out the technical difficulties and we will proceed as planned tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. I pull a couple of cards just to figure out our Aries energy for that day. And then I do a non-denominational prayer to put you out there back in the world as a stronger version, more grounded version of self, so that you can just proceed on, Aries. All right. So at the end of this video, I will make sure to link my little commercial that I made that I'm very proud of. That is a call for you to join me on the Ram Vibes live morning reading. Okay. Monday through Friday. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go from Aries to Pisces. So keep in mind who it is that you're coming to this reading for. You can come to this reading for a loved one, like a family member, or a friend, or like a coworker, or a boss, or even a lover, like a lover. I'm going to go from Aries to Pisces, and I'm going to see how does that person feel about you. The description, the timestamps will be in the description. I will ring a bell between each sign, so heads up on that, and then I will write down the timestamp, so give me a second with that. All right, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. We're going to start off with the Aries connecting to another Aries. All right, Aries connecting to another Aries. How does that Aries feel about my Aries collective, please, Spirit? We got the Temperance card and we got the Ten of Pentacles. Well, it's like it's you complete me. Very like very power couple vibes. I'm getting potential to take this long term. Very much we are family. I got all my sisters with me and we make money, honey, with the Ten of Pentacles. But this person feels like because y'all have found a good way to compromise, because you guys have found a good way to harness your energies as two Aries, as two fire signs, as two leaders, you've learned how to lead and when to follow and vice versa. Because y'all were able to do that, you can conquer anything. So this person sees that and they understand and they recognize the self-control that you've had to exercise, and they recognize how you've had to like almost moderate yourself, not lessen yourself. But when you're dealing with two dynamic energies, an Aries and an Aries, you really have to learn to do that dance. And they're giving you all the kudos for learning how to do that dance with them. And they see security with you. So that's good. For those of you who are just watching all of the readings, if you're an Aries and you're not connected to an Aries, that's you and your higher self speaking. You and your higher self are in sync, baby. All right, let's move on to Taurus at 3:56. Taurus. Those Aries connected to Taurus. How does Taurus feel about the Aries, please, Spirit? The Ace of Wands and then the Page of Wands. I feel like this is a long-standing relationship. We get to see this little girl go from being a little girl to being like a teenager. So you could have been Aries with this person since you guys were teenagers, or you could be with this person, could have been with this person for 10 or more years. And now y'all have teenagers together. But I feel like it's been a long journey together. How does this Taurus feel about you, Aries? It's almost like you are you have like this really dynamic presence about you. And they really do, they see that fire and that passion. I will say though that because this little girl has a wand in front of her in both of the pictures, they see you, but they only see what you allow them to see, Taurus. You're very strong and you're very charismatic and you're very, very much a go-getter, but I do feel like you're like an onion or a layer, a birthday cake or like a wedding cake where there's layers underneath you that you've never divulged. And then now I see the moon in the back of this Ace of Wands. You see it down back there? And they know that you hold back some stuff from them. But they're just like, you know what? I feel like they've made peace. Y'all have had such a long relationship. I feel like they're just like, well, that's the way Aries is. One more card for this. The Seven of Swords. They wish that you would talk to them a little bit more about the depth of you as a person. Because sometimes I feel that there could be a little bit of moodiness and they don't know where it's coming from. So for those Aries that are connected to a Taurus, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. And then I saw the Queen of Wands. And then I see this Fool card under here. So I feel like Spirit could be nudging you to kind of open up a little bit more. Just so y'all's bond can be that much stronger. It's what the Taurus is kind of wanting with you anyways. All right, let's move on to Gemini. Gemini connected to an Aries. Aries connected to a Gemini. How does a Gemini feel about the Aries, please, Spirit? How does Gemini feel about the Aries? The Three of Pentacles. The Ten of Cups. The Six of Cups. I'm getting... He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. I feel like there's a Gemini that has a crush on you. And this could be at work with the Three of Pentacles. Or they see you on like social media or something. And they're just like, wow, Aries, wow. This could be somebody from high school. This could be somebody from college or college years. This could be an ex-husband or wife with the Ten of Cups. If this isn't an ex-husband or wife, this is somebody that you have a loving relationship with and they still have a crush on you. And they see how determined you are to collaborate together and to be successful together. Or they see how much you are devoted to your work, and they recognize how talented you are. So this looks healthy. And they feel healthy around you. They feel your light shining. That's for Aries connected to Gemini. Let's take a look at Aries connected to Cancer. 903. Aries connected to Cancer. How does Cancer feel about the Aries, please? Stop. The Queen of Cups. You psychic person, you. They feel like you are so giving and loving and very professional. Something about your psychic abilities though as well. Wow, the King of Pentacles, and at the bottom of the deck the Ace of Swords. The truth of the matter is that if you are not connected to a Cancer, they can feel this urge to want to invest in you. And then now I'm getting a song. Take me all the way. Ah, take me all the way. Really go the long, you know, the long haul with you with this King of Pentacles. If you're, I feel like you're in limited communication with this Cancer person though. But it's like every time you talk to this person, like there's inspiration back and forth. If this is a friend, then the friend sees you as a very balanced person, Aries, with this Queen of Cups energy and this King of Pentacles energy. Hell, I mean, this Cancer could be a friend who wants to come out of the friend zone, but if that's not quite possible right now, then every time they do talk to you with this Ace of Swords here, and there's communication in there, it's almost like they feel like they've got to adjust something to keep up with the Joneses for you. like you're doing all of these great things, Aries, and they're like, I'm doing something good too. Right? And then they proceed to say, I'm doing this and that. But the collaboration between the two of you guys is giving. All right, so that's how the Cancer feels about the Aries. Let's move on to Leo. Leo, those Aries that are connected to Leo, how does Leo feel about the Aries, please, Spirit? How does Leo feel about Aries? The Five of Cups, ouchie. The Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Wow. There was a huge... tears were shed. I don't know if it was on both sides or not. I couldn't tell you. With this Five of Cups and this Eight of Cups, it's showing me that, like, yikes, something happened between you and the Leo. And somebody found themselves a little bit emotional. But I feel like, let's say that you walked away from the Leo. I feel like you walked away from them to find your own empowerment. Like you didn't want, like you wanted to be the star of your own life, not the Leo to be the star of your life. I got this Death card here. And it says transformation. In what direction is this potentially transforming to? Wow. It could have just been a temporary upset. Because the angels are now saying, like, hey, like, you guys could be something. How does a Leo feel about the Aries? Whoa, look at that. Major Arcana. 3 major Arcana. I don't know if they know exactly what to think. I think that right now they could be focused on what transpired between the two of you all. But there's some huge angelic energy going on in the background right now. 3 major Arcana. Almost to try to get them to stop looking at it through a negative lens. So I would say if you're dealing with a Leo and that you did the Eight of Cups thing and you kind of like backed off, or maybe they did, give them a little bit more space. Spirit is working on them. Hope that helps. All right, let's move on to Virgo. Aries connected to a Virgo, 1355. All right, Aries connected to a Virgo. How does a Virgo... I was going to ring a bell in between each sign, but I'm not. Aries connected to a Virgo. How does a Virgo feel about the Aries? The Ten of Swords. Excuse me, the Eight of Swords. But I said Ten of Swords. So a little bit back and forth action on how they feel about you. The Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck. The Queen of Swords. They love your mind. But there's a trust issue. They like how you think, but like there's a disconnect between how you think and then your behavior or pattern of behavior. they might have thought you were going to go one particular direction and you didn't. And that's why this chessboard is on here. It's almost like it's either there's a stalemate between you and this Virgo, or there's a checkmate. Like you outsmarted them, outmoved them, because they're so used to a pattern. They see your wittiness. And it's causing them to kind of self-doubt. That's why it goes back and forth between the Ten of Swords, where they're like, I'm done with Aries completely. And then the Eight of Swords, where it's like they almost move towards you energetically, but then they kind of stop themselves. You confuse the hell out of this Virgo. You really do. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Not just you confuse the hell out of this Virgo with this Ten of Cups. It tells me that their own feelings confuse the hell out of themselves. At the bottom of the deck, the Six of Pentacles. We'll see on this one, because Spirit might be giving you and this Virgo another chance? Question mark? I think it has everything to do with the free will of the Virgo. I mean, I get everything has to do with free will of Virgo, but then, yet at the same time, when we're dealing with spirit and whatnot, there's like, there's fate. There's fated events. So I think with this person, with the Virgo's free will, it's like, could the second chance be presented like in the next couple of days? Or because the Virgo is choosing to be in the Eight of Swords energy, is it going to take another few weeks or a few months? I feel like there is a fated event, but the timing all depends on Virgo's mental health state. You threw this Virgo person for an absolute loop. All right, let's move on to Libra. Libra, Aries connected to a Libra. How does the Libra feel about the Aries? Aries connected to a Libra. My shuffle was all up. There we go. Four of Wands. Nine of Wands. And then the Moon card. It's almost like the Libra, the Four of Wands, Nine of Wands, and then the Moon card. It's like a fairy tale for them. They envision a life with you, but it's either delusional that they would do that, or they feel delusional, or a little bit of both. Like, nah, I don't think Aries would want me back. But they sit by their phone, like waiting for it to ring. You know, they make sure that their phone notifications are turned high enough to where, just in case, you know, they see your face everywhere, and strangers as they walk down the street, there's always something that reminds them of you. At the bottom of the deck is the Lovers. I think that they're afraid of you in a way, Aries. Look for their energy around the next full moon in October. Look for them to reach out. I feel like you intimidate this person, even though they can see something with you. Yeah, look for the Libra around the next full moon, Aries. Okay, let's move on to Scorpio. Scorpio dealing with an Aries. How does a Scorpio feel about the Aries spirit? How does Scorpio feel about the Aries? Please, there. Okay. Oh, the Seven of Cups, the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck, the Two of Pentacles. So this is an old Scorpio. Meaning, okay, they could be older than you based off of what I just said. But I feel like this is an old connection. Like, this was a few girlfriends or boyfriends ago. For example, if you've dated a lot of Scorpios in your life, like, this is one of the OG Scorpios that I'm picking up the energy on. You could have kids with this Scorpio. They so they dream about you a lot, and sometimes the dreams are like happy and sometimes they're not, and you live rent free in the Scorpio's head because they constantly overanalyzing why are they still dreaming about Aries. Sorry, that's my dog Robin. Yeah, look, she's scratching an itch. It's like you're like an itch they can't scratch, and they're just like, what? Why? No, get out of my head. You live rent free in Scorpio's mind, but this is like OG Scorpio. So, you know, try to figure out who that person is. You live free in some Scorpio's mind, and like I said, you could have kids with this person, or it could just be like, you know, a childhood sweetheart or something like that, like way back in the day. All right, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, those, where are we at? Okay, those people connected, those Aries connected to Sagittarius. How does the Sagittarius feel about the Aries, please, Spirit? How does Sagittarius, thank you. The Ten of Pentacles. The Four of Cups. Wow, this is a theme. Aries be living rent-free in people's heads. The Sagittarius is like perturbed. Ten of Pentacles, Four of Cups. Because they had in their mind a certain like dynamic for them. Like when they settled down and they got into a serious relationship or got married or whatever, they had in their mind a long time ago what that was going to look like. And you're like, that darn cat. Meaning, they didn't necessarily picture you, Aries. Okay, maybe when y'all first got together, they were like, oh, okay, cool. But then there's been a lot of green between that. There's been a lot of time between that. And they've since changed their mind or their idea of love. Almost like you were a change conduit for this person. Like y'all were, you taught them a lot about life and about love and about like what they don't want from love. And so they've been scheming to get something different than you. Nope, not Aries. Nope. Don't want Aries. I want somebody completely different than Aries. That's what I want. That's the one. And they haven't found that. And it's like they constantly get a pull back to you. Your star is always shining. And then I get blinded by the light. I don't know, I think of cars when I say that, when I sing that song. So cars can be significant, like hot rods or something. I don't know. Like that's for somebody, right? But, or like headlights, yeah. Oh, it aggravates them. You aggravate the shit out of the Sagittarius because they want to ignore you. So bad. They want to ignore you so bad, but you're always freaking here like a parakeet in their head, whether you're actually contacting them or not. Okay, one more on their feelings. Look at this. Oops, no, here, this. They've been fighting the urge to analyze the situation differently. It's like they want to paint you a certain way, but they're having a hard time doing that. This Sagittarius also deals with a little bit of self-centeredness, self-absorption, and you challenge that for them. Yeah. So you've got this Sagittarius all in their head. All right. Capricorn, let's see. Capricorn. Aries connected to a Capricorn. How does the Capricorn feel about Aries? How does Capricorn feel about Aries? Oh, the Nine of Pentacles, the Five of Cups. They've seen you go through a lot in your life. This Capricorn has seen you go through an absolute shitstorm in your life. And like you went, like I feel like you went from having the rug pulled out under you with this Nine of Pentacles and this Five of Cups, but that's in the past. Now you're in a different space, a different headspace. So this could be like a friend or a family member or a coworker, this Capricorn energy. And wait, hold on. Somebody has Capricorn really heavy in their chart, so this is your higher self. Especially with this Three of Cups, because sometimes this is you dancing in the moonlight with your spirit guides and whatnot and ancestors. But yeah, they see you chilling and kind of celebrating life again. They've witnessed your turnaround, your glow up, and there's a lot of respect towards you, this Capricorn. For those of you guys who are romantically connected to a Capricorn, there is a little bit of hesitation about like when you like party and stuff. So I feel like they respect your glow up from afar, but I think that there's been a bridge that's not been like burned between the two of you guys, but it's been scorched. And it's like the Capricorn doesn't know if they can trust walking back towards you, but they really do appreciate the work that you've done. So they're admiring you and your healing from a distance, right? Let's see here. Aquarius, 2748. All right, those Aries connected to an Aquarius. So this didn't even shuffle, and it wouldn't even go together when I shuffled it. So what does this tell me? Let's see. What is that telling me about the Aries connected to an Aquarius? How does the Aquarius feel about Aries, please? I feel Four of Cups. Oh, yeah, see? I feel like you broke it off with the Aquarius. Look at this. And the Aquarius is forever like haunted. There's disappointment at the loss. You know, this person could, like this person isn't just crying over spilled milk. Like they're crying over the love you not pouring into their cup anymore. And you're over here sitting happy, not even looking their direction. So check this out. So if this was them analyzing the situation, look, she's not even looking at him at all. It's hard for the Aquarius to move on from this. Do you see this Ace of Cups here? They're so busy analyzing that they're missing that God is in the background. Like, hey, there's other people in the ocean, in the sea. Hey, there's love out here. And even though they could be experiencing other people in those kind of ways, it's not the same. And it's very like somber and melancholy, the energy. All right, let's see Pisces. Pisces connected to Aries. Pisces connected to Aries. How does Pisces feel about the Aries, please, Spirit? How does Pisces feel about the Aries? Oh. Two two cards. The Strength card, the Two of Wands popped out with the Strength card. Oh, and the Ace of Pentacles. This person sees an absolute future with you. I think they have a crush on you. They haven't come forward yet. They've imagined an entire future and have planned it out. They do want to plan it out with you. And I think that's why the Messenger is popping out with the Ace of Pentacles. One more card. Yeah. This would be a new love situation. Like, I don't know if you know about this, Pisces, Aries. There's somebody that admires admires you and your humility and your humor. I think Pisces likes you, but I don't think you know who this Pisces is. Pisces, if you're cross-watching, Aries likes action. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Well, Aries, I hope that helped. Stay tuned to the commercial. I love you guys. Bye. What's up, Aries community? This is Shawnee with Infinite Light. I got daily tarot readings for you guys. Join me on Ram Vibes.
Okay, let's go.